Hello, welcome to this update. Let's just quickly see what's still happening in the tropics and especially like with Rafael. So we still have Rafael in the Gulf. It's lingering there, but it's still a hurricane. It might curve north a little bit and then dive back south. But by the time it goes back south, it might be just a remnant low or very weak. So by this forecast, not expected to go into the northern Gulf. It's just like stalling there. So let's see here what they say. Swells generated by Rafael are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions along the Gulf next 2 days. So that's the main threat because it's away from land now. So the surf and rip currents the main threat. Rafael's forecast to move slowly over the central Gulf of Mexico this weekend and early next week into the southern southwestern Gulf of Mexico. Should monitor the progress of this system because this still might bring a heavy rain to Mexico down the road if it manages to go there still with some moisture. So let's see. Las marejadas generadas por Rafael son propensas a causar condiciones de oleaje y corrientes marinas que amenazan la vida a lo largo de la costa del Golfo todos los próximos días. Se pronostica que Rafael se moverá lentamente sobre el centro del Golfo de México este fin de semana y principios de semana que viene. Los intereses sur-sueste del Golfo de México e na costa de México assim devem monitorar o progresso desse sistema por algumas lluvias assim. Good. So be aware, but that's away from land for now. But it does look like on the forecast here, it quickly reached category 3 strength in the Gulf this morning or something. Now it's back down to category 2 there, but it quickly reached category 3 again. So let's see. We still have the area of investigation there. This one at 10%. So it's not expected to develop, but it still brings some periods of heavy rain near Hispaniola, southwestern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and some other areas. So just be aware, but no development expected from this. So let's see here. There's now Rafael there and the area of showers and storms there near the southwestern Atlantic, a storm or two near the Turks and Caicos in Haiti shows a storm or two now, and here like we can see better, we have this big area of showers and storms parts of the near Barbados, this like tropical wave, and some more lingering showers and storms there. So be aware, especially in Barbados and in some areas. Today, Friday, the European models a lot of showers and storms moving across those areas. Be aware of specific like thunderstorms that might have heavy rain and the risk of localized flash flooding in low-lying areas, especially in the islands there. So be aware. And you still have those very ridiculous amounts of rain in Costa Rica, Panama, northern Colombia, and Nicaragua. So be careful in those areas. And yeah, this is Sunday already, the 10th, still some heavy rain in Nicaragua, Monday in Panama, especially not Nicaragua, but Costa Rica and Panama, still on Monday, Sunday to Monday, more northern Panama, southern Costa Rica, Tuesday, it just keeps coming, Costa Rica more, next Wednesday into next Thursday, so looks like an endless parade of moisture there, so please stay safe. There's the GFS, it shows in Colombia more, across Panama, is parts of Nicaragua, but shows more in Costa Rica too, especially Sunday the 10th into Tuesday the 12th might have more, especially Monday, so be careful in those areas. And let's see, the rain accumulation just in the next day or so, the European shows more in the Eastern Caribbean, some in Barbados, but especially in those main islands there. So be aware, 27 millimeters, 19 millimeters, 10 millimeters, some in the Dominican Republic, a storm or two in Haiti, Some storms scattered in eastern Cuba and Jamaica, a storm or two more in the Turks and Caicos, southwestern Bahamas, and so be aware in those areas. But just in the next day or so, the European model array has like 160 millimeters parts of Costa Rica, southern Panama, and northern Colombia. It shows a lot there, so BR like 200 millimeters or something. Panama, more in Honduras, so be aware. And let's see. Further north, a shower or two in Mexico, a storm or two in southwestern Mexico, and the Yucatan, but nothing that crazy. Finger or two in Guatemala, but now until next Wednesday, does show those very crazy amounts in Costa Rica, like 400 to 522 millimeters just in the next 5 days. So this will bring some very catastrophic flooding if this does happen, because sometimes these models are wrong, but most models are showing this, so that there will likely be a lot of heavy rain there. Please be careful with central southern Costa Rica, most of northern Panama, so stay safe there. Southern western Nicaragua shows more there, southernmost Honduras, and it does show us a little bit more of some showers and thunderstorms near central Guatemala, southern Mexico, and on the Pacific there. And it does have eventually the moisture from Rafael reaching the eastern coast of Mexico there. So be aware, in the next 5 days it does have more across Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, a little bit more. Some passing showers and storms still in the eastern Caribbean, some areas a little bit more. Northwestern Venezuela shows more than 100 millimeters. Northern parts of Colombia, central northern parts of Colombia, some more. And it shows a little bit more in Guyana and Suriname, some 18 millimeters, 41. So that's more than we had on the last few weeks, but nothing crazy too. And the TFS has there in parts of the Caribbean, even close to like 71 millimeters in St. Lucia, 73. In the Virgin Islands, might have some spots close to 98 to 78 millimeters, according to the GFS. Has more lingering around the Dominican Republic as well, especially on the eastern side, and shows just south of Haiti more. And the GFS does have in Costa Rica upwards of 564 millimeters, 600 millimeters the GFS has. So this is more than the European model. I think the European might be a little bit more accurate on this case, but you get the idea. There will be some very torrential rain there, so please stay safe. Lluvia muy fuerte en Costa Rica y Panamá estos próximos días. Muchas precauciones norte de Colombia también, y con inundaciones, deslizamientos de tierra. Precauciones. Good, so stay safe. Landslides and flooding. And let's see, shows more scary thunderstorms in Nicaragua, parts of El Salvador, southern Honduras, some in Guatemala, Mexico. So be aware. Now the icon's not that crazy as the other models, but it does show 200 millimeters in Costa Rica, 253, like 262. So the icon's a little bit milder, but still shows heavy rain, like 200 millimeters is already more than enough to cause some flooding. So be careful. If I put this until Monday, it has like 187 millimeters, 204, and until next Wednesday, 238. So be careful. Yes, those areas of showers and storms in the Caribbean there, so close to 60, 70 millimeters in parts of the eastern Caribbean. Some in Jamaica, storm or two shows near northern Cuba and the southern Bahamas. Be aware. Southernmost Mexico, the Pacific, and Guatemala, those areas. So be careful with the heavy rains there. Here, let's see, like some more areas, the Canadian model. So this is like the Southwest Atlantic here, Caribbean. So this is until Monday. Does have a lot in Nicaragua. That those browns are like 250 to 300 millimeters. If I put this until next Friday, it still shows a lot there, but that's too much. Let's just leave it until next Monday. See if we can zoom in a little bit closer here. So maybe South America we can see better. So as you can see, there shows like 200 to almost 300 meters, mainly western Costa Rica, northern Panama. So please stay safe in those areas. Let's see if there are any other models that show like rainfall important. I don't think this one. Yeah, it does show here like some important areas of rainfall, northern Colombia and Panama. Be careful there. Some climate models have also shown a lot of stuff there this month. And later until next Monday, western Costa Rica and those areas some important amounts. So be careful those areas there, please. Now on the Eastern Pacific, nothing on the next 7 days, and Central Pacific nothing too. But on the Western Pacific, we are pretty busy there. We have 3 areas of investigation and still Typhoon Xin Ying there, Ying Xing. So it's there in the South China Sea and does show those areas and 93W with a high chance of development there. So let's see, the typhoon that we had in the Philippines, it intensified more than we expected. So it reached like super typhoon right before arriving in the northern Philippines. It nearly made landfall in that northernmost island as a 240 kilometer per hour super typhoon and continued there. So before we expected this to strengthen to a category 3 or something, but it actually got all the way to super typhoon. So never underestimate these storms because of all the ocean heat content and moisture available there. Never underestimate them like this one that strengthened in the last minute. So just to let you know. And now it's there in the South China Sea. It's still a very strong typhoon there in the South China Sea, and it's forecast to dive down and be a remnant low near Vietnam. So let's see here. Some models first, maybe. Starting with the current storm. So Rafael is there, and the global hurricane models are now trending this down towards the southern Gulf into Mexico there. So, but by the time it reaches there, it will probably be a remnant low, very weak. Some models still keep it as a hurricane or tropical storm by like 132 hours, but most models very weak. But these models aren't like very weak, but like 144 hours still close to tropical storm strength. So BR, the GFS ensembles are still all over the place, but most dive south there. The Canadian ensemble still locked in with the Northern Gulf, but you most likely dive south into the southwestern Gulf. So here there's the GFS, does go there, kind of weak, and the low pressure dives back south, and then there's that system there forecast to form by the GFS by like November 13 starts forming. The GFS does go into Florida, so don't mind this, don't freak out, don't call this hype or nothing. This is just the GFS hallucinating. This won't happen. 2 days ago, it showed this turning to a category 4 and going into the Dominican Republic. 5 days ago, it did the same thing into like the Eastern Caribbean or something. So don't mind this. I'm just showing you so you can see what all the models are thinking. But there's the European, there's Rafael there, and then it goes, weekends, and the European does have some moisture kind of forming there, but not doesn't really form into something. It has a low pressure November 13th, but that doesn't really manage to form. There's the Neptune. It does have a low pressure in the southwestern Caribbean by November 11th. It goes there, but struggles a lot and barely forms into something. And the Neptune is still showing this going to the northern Gulf, but I don't think that will happen. You mainly go south. The icon is like showing the disturbance near the Bahamas and Cuba, some more rain there. And it does pick up a low pressure just south of Jamaica by November 14th and tries to spin it up to a tropical storm. So still some probabilities there something might form. The Canadian has the system there. Much of the moisture gets caught into that front, but the low pressure dives down to Mexico, and then it does have a low pressure trying to spin up near Central America on the 16th, but that doesn't really manage to do so. But it does have those areas of showers and storms passing by the Eastern Caribbean, in Guyana, Suriname, Venezuela, some more showers and storms. And by November 18th, does have some more scattered showers there. And the Canadian does have a system, the Eastern Pacific, forming going to Mexico there. So that's interesting too. But I don't necessarily think that will happen. The GFS has the heavy rain Costa Rica, Panama, goes there, and it does try to spin up more things, but it doesn't really spin up anything on the Eastern Pacific, just the crazy stuff in the Caribbean. The European is like showing goes there, the heavy rain, Panama, Costa Rica, those low pressures around there, but it doesn't spin up any cyclones there. And the icon here, and the icon shows the monsoon trough there, the low pressures around, especially in Costa Rica, those heavy rains, but it does have something trying to spin up in the middle of the Eastern Pacific tropical storm, but they'll probably stay out to see if it forms there. But yeah, nothing that crazy. Now on the Western Pacific, we do have Xinying there. The icon does have a curve near China, but then heading south, maybe leaving some showers or thunderstorms in Vietnam by like the 11th and the 12th. And the icon has another tropical storm forming at the last minute before affecting the northern Philippines again. So the icon is another tropical storm in the northern Philippines, then it goes out into China, and right after that, the icon is yet again another tropical storm passing near the northern Philippines. So it's like a parade of systems there. Let's see, the European model might be a little bit more conservative, but it does show that cyclone like trying to form the middle of the Pacific there, that area in red for formation, but it does have three low pressures, one for forming near the Philippines into a tropical storm, just like the icon. By November 11th, has another tropical storm here in the northern Philippines. The European actual strength is close to typhoon strength, just north of the Philippines. And right after that, there's another cyclone passing very close to the northern Philippines, like three typhoons in a row. Not typhoons, because the second one will likely be just a tropical storm, but like this is very crazy, having all those systems in a row in those same areas. And by the 18th, the European still has it in the South China Sea. So yeah, really got a monitor there. But the GFS, it has this disturbance forming here in the northern Philippines on November 11th, and then going into the South China Sea. Right after that, the GFS has another typhoon here in the central northern Philippines, going into the South China Sea. So like we might have two storms in a row in those areas, but I still don't want to focus too much on the second storm because it's a little far out and the model still have to adjust. But I wanna uh, pay more attention to this first storm that they might hit on November 11th there, because most of the models are showing that first storm forming there. So let's first focus on this next one that's coming, then later we will see the other one. But there's the Neptune. It has a weak, very weak tropical storm there on November 10th, November 11th, like very weak. Then it strengthens more in the South China Sea. The Neptune has the rest of it going to China by the 13th. Then the Neptune does have on the 14th the new tropical storm here in the northern Philippines there. And it has another one forming just south of it on November 16th. So this will be like three systems more in the Philippines. So if you are there, just stay up to date with the forecast, and but be mindful of like November 11th, because this is Monday already. You might have a tropical storm on your doorstep as early as Monday there. So please monitor this there. And if you check the rain accumulation, you can see this as well. So until the next Wednesday, it shows more than 200 millimeters, 157 parts of the northern Philippines, and more there. And then shows more scattered tropical showers, southern Philippines and some areas. but it does have the remnants of Xinyin in central Vietnam, with like some heavy rain, central Vietnam. So better monitor there too. Also has in northeastern Taiwan, an area of a little bit heavy rain, and in the islands of southern Japan there, in some areas of southern Japan might be some more storms. But the GFS has also this, has like the storm on the 11th there, about 200 to like almost 300 millimeters, and then if you put it until the 13th, it has the second storm crossing there too. So please be careful, especially on the 11th. That's like 3 days away already. So nothing has formed yet, but since all the models are this aggressive, better start thinking, making some preparations. But don't freak out, nothing has formed yet, but better monitor closely. The icons like 100 to 200 meters, the northern Philippines on the next 5 days as well in some other areas. So please be careful with flooding and wind as these next storms come by. There's the wind gust from the European model. There's the typhoon there, the South China Sea, and some gusty winds on the southern islands of Japan there. But like shows the typhoon, this storm might bring some more rough swells and rip currents in parts of southern China and Vietnam. So the same, just like I said for the Gulf system there, be aware of swells and rip currents around Vietnam, China, and those areas. And on Sunday the 10th, the European already has disorganizing there, and some gusty winds. Then it has on the 11th, this weak tropical storm making landfall there, northern Philippines. Uh, I don't want to like suggest the strength of this, because just like you saw the last typhoon, it turned into a super typhoon. So we never know, with those warm waters there, this might even be a little bit stronger, but I don't want to cause fear as well. So we'll monitor in the days to come, but just like be ready for a tropical storm on Monday there, a weak to moderate, even strong tropical storm. And then does show on Monday the GFS, some higher gusts in the northern Philippines, but nothing crazy, but a little bit higher gusts. Then this goes into the South China Sea, and the GFS is the next system on the 14th. And the GFS is the European is a little bit further north on the 14th. So the European will be like curving near the Philippines, and the GFS will be going head first into the Philippines. But if this scenario happened like on the 16th, this will heavily affect those northern islands as well, if this happened. But that's like 1 week out. So let's focus on this first one on the 11th. So the ensembles from the European on the next, like, uh, let's put this a little bit uh, closer. So in the next 108 hours, it does have Xinyin there. That system, the 11th, the next system. So there's like 4 systems on the board. This one, there's this next one that might hit on Monday. There's Yingxing there that might affect Vietnam. And there's this second one that might affect the Philippines on the 14th. So 4 systems we are monitoring. So it does have this 4 system, maybe approaching the Mariana Islands too, by like the 13th. And if I put this to 240 hours, it does have here like 180 hours, because it's running a little bit slow. So it does show those storms cross the northern Philippines. It shows some of them curving north, like these members there. They curve a little bit north, and some go south there. But most members concentrate around the northern Philippines and some other areas. There's the GFS as well. Uh, it shows that it doesn't show as much concentration as the European. Like the European has more members showing, but the GFS has higher intensity, as you can see those pink lines. Most of the GFS members go into the northern Philippines. Some curve north there by like November 15th or something. So just be aware, those areas, more storms possibly coming your way. Now here, like for Asia, the Canadian model to show the rainfall until Monday the 18th. So this goes a long way out. So the Canadian has this in the extreme northern Philippines, more than 300 millimeters. Like it has this passing like in the extreme northern Philippines, both the first storm and maybe the second one too, and does have those northern islands more, and maybe some more tropical downpours near Indonesia and the southern Philippines. Most of southern India, Sri Lanka has some more tropical showers and downpours, and near the Maldives some more tropical showers and storms. So be aware. And like some parts of southern Myanmar, still some more showers and more stuff around there. So be aware, share this information with others, in the Philippines to let them know what's coming. And let's see, the European does have those scattered tropical showers and storms in Indonesia, Malaysia, close to 89 millimeters, parts of Indonesia, Malaysia some 71 millimeters, some 80 millimeters. So those like tropical downpours there during the day, especially in those areas. So be aware, and shows more in parts of Java, close to 100 millimeters in a spot or two, and Sumatra. So always be aware of the heavier storms, the potential for like flash flooding. And in India, it does have as this thing in the Bay of Bengal. This might become something, but it does show something coming here, maybe affecting eastern India, some 76, 70 millimeters already. But this might not be a cyclone, just an area of showers and storms. If you are like those British territories, Seabreeze Village, the tropical convergence zone is very active there now. So be aware a lot of showers and storms passing during the day and night and everything. So like shows 90 millimeters the next 5 days. And the Maldives, some passing showers and storms, but nothing that crazy. So be aware those areas. And now the GFS does have like in southeastern, southwestern India some more rain there. It does have a low pressure there that like you see the heavier precipitation spinning around it, but it doesn't have anything that crazy yet. Has southern Myanmar more than 100 millimeters as well. Has those areas of tropical downpours in Indonesia, Malaysia, especially Indonesia more than 100 millimeters. Southern Malaysia close to 8 and 90 millimeters. So be aware in those areas. And southern Japan has some more heavier stuff crossing there and in the islands. So be aware in those areas. Now this thing here for the Indian Ocean, maybe the GFS. So it does have, it even has a tropical cyclone or two by like November 13th, spinning the southern Indian Ocean, and it does have those things spinning there and like drifting away. But it also has that broad disturbance of the Bay of Bengal, just spins there, some rain near India on the 14th, but doesn't turn into anything that concerning. There's the European model, shows more there, spinning the southern Indian Ocean, maybe becomes something, and it has those disturbances on the Bay of Bengal, just some more showers and storms in India, but that doesn't have anything that, like any cyclones or anything. The Canadian has that disturbance southern Indian Ocean, probably becoming a tropical storm on the 12th, then it lingers there in the southern Indian Ocean. This doesn't show approaching any big islands, but we'll monitor the progress of this just in case, and shows those disturbances Bay of Bengal, bringing some showers and storms there, but no big cyclone or anything as of now. So yeah, be aware. And yeah, this mainly it. The icon has like a disturbance in the Bay of Bengal, maybe eastern India, a little bit heavy rain. And yeah, so stay safe in those areas. Please monitor this in the northern Philippines and make some preparations if necessary. Be aware in other areas of Southeast Asia, some areas of heavy rain, especially in Vietnam, eastern Cambodia, and some more showers and storms there. And be aware there in the Gulf with the swells from Rafael, the heavy rains in Costa Rica and Panama, and in the Eastern Caribbean, those periods of thunderstorms too. So be aware and